power, greed. This goes back over 200 years, back to 1776, with the establishment of an organization known as the Illuminati. And if your listeners don't know what the Illuminati is, they need to run down to the library and look it up and do some research, because on May the 1st, 1776, a fellow named Adam Weishaupt, German, set forth 25 goals at the request of the Rothschild group that they needed to initiate in order to take over the world. We're talking about destroy the sovereignty of countries and destroy religions. And that's where it really started in modern day. And right today, believe it or not, and we have the documentation for this, we are probably 90%, their goals have probably been filled at the great rate of about 90%.
Qual o objetivo dos Illuminates? Creio que seja uma das principais perguntas nesse DVD. E a resposta é simples e única: criar a nova ordem mundial. Quando eles começaram a trabalhar nesse projeto? Começaram na Babilônia, começaram na Torre de Babel. Quando o Senhor Deus confundiu as línguas na Torre de Babel, aquele povo foi espalhado pelo mundo e fundaram hierarquias na Babilônia. Da Babilônia, Grécia. Da Grécia, Egito. E do Egito, mais recentemente, mas não muito recente assim, migraram para a Europa. Roma foi um grande império. E de Roma, a Grã-Bretanha. Da Grã-Bretanha, o último e derradeiro passo: os Estados Unidos da América. Construídos, montado, projetado pelos Illuminates, com todos os detalhes pré-estabelecidos.
Illuminati was the basis for what we call today the Colombian faction. The Colombian faction of the Illuminati came here. We get today Columbia Space Shuttle, Columbia Movies, Columbia Television, Columbia Records, everything, Columbia University. As a matter of fact, Columbia TV, Columbia Broadcasting System, CBS. What is the symbol for CBS? It's the all-seeing eye. And that's why our government is in the District of Columbia, because these guys own our government. They print our money, and they own not only the government, but they own you. You are their property. So, in other words, these guys print the money, they run the country, and they own you, and they own everything around it. And so they make the laws, and that's why they can decide who can kill who, and who can get away with who, and who can get away with whatever, because they make the laws and they decide, all right? As I said to you before, there are 13 layers in this pyramid. There are 13 letters in Coeptus, but 13 is a very important number to this secret society. There are 13 stripes, there are 13 stars here, which make up the Star of David. The 13 berries, there are 13 leaves, 13 arrows, there are 32 feathers.
The Illuminati was founded on May 1st, 1776, by Adam Weishaupt, a professor at Ingolstadt University. Weishaupt obviously had been a serious student of the occult, for many of its bizarre features and symbols were incorporated into his organization. Weishaupt had been active in the Masonic lodges of Germany, and found in them the perfect vehicle for recruiting into his secret order, which he described publicly as the highest level of Freemasonry. The Illuminati was formally incorporated into the Masonic lodges at the Congress of Wilhelmsbad in 1780. But by the time the member had advanced to the level of presbyter, or priest, his oath of absolute secrecy and obedience had become deadly serious. Only then was he allowed finally to see the ultimate goal of the order. It was the destruction of all religion and the destruction of all independent governments, replaced by a new world order, a world government ruled from behind the scenes by the illuminated ones.
Pois bem, os Illuminates existem desde a fundação do mundo. Estavam na Torre de Babel. Foram oficializados através de um jovem estudante de ocultismo em 1776, exatamente no dia 1º de maio. Seria por isso que o Dia do Trabalhador é comemorado nessa data? Não sei. Esses Illuminates se reuniram em um hotel chamado Bilderberg, na Holanda, e formaram um grupo contendo aproximadamente 120 pessoas.
People who are members of the Bilderberg Group are also the people who do control the Federal Reserve. These are all facts.
In 1954, the elite of the planet met in secret at the Bilderberg Hotel in Oosterbeek, Holland. The Bilderberg Group would later admit that their mission was the formation of the EU. Once the EU was established, under the guise of trade deals, a North American Union and Asian Union would be formed. The three interlocking superstates formed the core of the global government, while the United Nations would serve as a world regulatory and enforcement body over the Third World subregions. The Bilderberg Group consists of the heads of all of the managing roundtable groups that steer individual countries. Picture the elite power structure of the world as a giant pyramid, with only the elite of the elite at the tip top of the capstone. The group has been so secretive that until the mid-1980s, the controlled corporate media denied its existence. With the rise of the alternative media, their stranglehold on information has begun to slip.
Major media would deny this. Let's look at the ownership of the major media. Let's look at the roster of, say, the Bilderberg meeting. Katharine Graham owns the Washington Post. Katharine Graham has been to the Bilderbergers. Conrad Black, one of the largest media barons in Canada and Europe, has not only been to these meetings, but he has hosted the meeting just a few years ago.
Every year they meet in secret, and there is an absolute news blackout. There is never anything reported in any of those papers.
O que exatamente eles tratam nessas reuniões? Tratam de planos e metas que dizem respeito especificamente a você. Dominaram os bancos. A moeda mundial está nas mãos dos Illuminates desde muito tempo atrás. Dominaram os meios de comunicação, rádio, televisão, jornal, revista. Tudo isso pertence aos Illuminates, no mundo todo. Dominam também a política mundial. Só é eleito quem os Illuminates querem na esfera federal de todos os países do mundo. Criaram a ONU sobre um pretexto totalmente obscuro. Temos um DVD específico sobre isso que eu gostaria que você assistisse. Criaram 2 guerras mundiais e inúmeras outras guerras. Nossos DVDs comprovam isso.
What do you think is on the agenda for this edition of the Bilderberg Society's annual meeting?
They're debating the attack on Iran. They're talking about how to take out Hugo Chavez. They're talking about how to get their American Union in that destroys Canadian, U.S., and Mexican sovereignty. So we're talking about the death of Canada is what's happening in there right now. Oh, yeah, there's one right there. Hi. Hey, we're not your property. We're not your slaves. We're going to defeat the New World Order. Will fall. Humanity will defeat you. The answer to 1984 is 1776.
In the near future, Earth is dominated by a powerful world government. Once free nations are slaves to the will of a tiny elite. The dawn of a new dark age is upon mankind. Countries are a thing of the past. Every form of independence is under attack, with the family and even the individual itself nearing extinction. Close to 80% of the Earth's population has been eliminated. The remnants of a once free humanity are forced to live within highly controlled, compact, prison-like cities. Travel is highly restricted. Superhighways connect the megacities and keep the population from entering into unauthorized zones. No human activity is private. AI supercomputers chronicle and categorize every action. A prison planet dominated by a ruthless gang of control freaks, whose power can never be challenged. This is the vision of the global elite, their goal. A program of total dehumanization, where the science of tyranny is law. A worldwide control grid designed to ensure the overlord's monopoly of power forever. Our species will be condemned to this nightmare future unless the masses are awakened to the New World Order master plan and mobilized to defeat it. Erected by a secretive group, the Georgia Guidestones are a testament to the elite's plan for a world religion, global laws, with a global court and army to enforce it. And set in stone, it is written that the population never rise above 500 million.
Sabemos que Deus zela pela sua palavra para que ela se cumpra. Os Illuminates também trabalham para que as propostas, as ideias de Satanás também aconteçam. E como Deus tem seus profetas, Satanás também tem seus profetas, os Illuminates. E estão profetizando o que vão fazer já há muito tempo, nós é que não percebemos. Temos vários exemplos que, assistindo os nossos DVDs, você vai ver essa realidade. Mas eu vou mostrar aqui agora sobre as placas da Geórgia, onde estão algumas profecias terríveis contra a raça humana. Siga assistindo o DVD, esse DVD e os demais, porque você terá toda a informação sobre isso. Talvez você conheça a história de Esther, a rainha Esther da Bíblia. Eu vou clarear a sua mente. O povo de Deus, o povo de Israel, estava na Babilônia.